welcome to this React Redux crash course. So first thing we have to do now is to create a new React app. So I have a new React app created on my own machine here. So for you also to work with Redux, you have to have a basic knowledge of React, and you have to have a new React project created on your machine. So that's that about that. The next thing is for us to install a package called React Redux. So to install React Redux, so you have to install React Redux with npm, or you use yarn. So I'll say npm install React Redux. So I'm going to install it with React Redux, but on my home hex here, I have installed it before, so I don't have to install it again. So on your own hex, make sure you have React Redux installed on your machine. So to confirm the installation, just go to your package.json and make sure that inside your dependency here you conceal React Redux here. After doing that, start your server. My own server is already running. So this is my own server. My own server is already running here. So I will go to my src and create a folder called Redux. So inside this Redux, I'm going to create a new file called store.config.txt. So inside this store config, this is where we are going to configure our store for React Redux to be working perfectly on our project. So I will say const reducers is equal to combine reducer from Redux, not from Redux toolkit. So I'm going to trash this out. So and I'm going to bound my reducer with store. So that will be, and I'm going to import another thing from Redux called create store from Redux. So and say create store and bound it with the name of our reducers. So we have our reducers here. So I'm going to export my store out here. Export default. So export default store. So after exporting our store out, so I'll go to my root folder, my root file, which is index.txt in React. So I'll come here and import a component from React Redux called provider. So after importing that, bound it, put your app. So we have to bound this one with the name of our store. So that is store is equal to store. So import that. So I've imported our out to our index.txt. So after doing that, we have to create a counter, which is for our reducer. I want to use a counter reducer. Reducers.txt. So here we have to create an object to where we are that will contains our details of that particular count. So I'll call it details count. So of 0, and we have count reducer is equal to a function. So here I'm going to export default my counter reducer out. So here we are going to, this one is a parameterized function. So I will say details and say is equal to details. It's a parameterized function, and I'm bounding it with state and details. So here we are going to return the value inside our parameterized function, which is state here. So return the state here. So the next thing is go to our app.txt to get the value inside our store. So I'll create a variable here and call it get store is equal to use selector from React Redux. So this one is state NA. I'm using that NA because the TypeScript bits I'm using. So if you are using JavaScript, you don't have to put any there. Dot counter reducer dot count. So let me firstly display it to our UI. So let's see what we have inside our UI. So we get nothing. So that means that we are not getting the value correctly. So I think it's reducers. It's reducers, not reducers. Okay, nice. So let's try to do it like this. Let's try to console the value inside our get store. Console dot log get store. So let's to put this one out of here. Oh, sorry, I think this one out to be yes. So let me put this one out of here and see what we have. Oh, sorry. So we have, okay, we have an empty object. Okay, that's nice. So use selector. So let's go to our counter reducer and see the reason we are okay. Oh, sorry, we have not import our counter reducer inside our combined reducer. So I will say counter us. So I'll import this counter console. Okay, we have that in our now. So we should get something in our UI now. Wow, nice. So I will erase this particular. So let's now go to the action features now. What the action actually means in React Redux is that we are trying to tell our store that if this particular condition arise, return this particular details to our client, which is our app.txt. So I will go to my counter reducer and create a function export cons increment function. So and return our type. Let's give it type increment. So and here we are going to pass our action as a parameterized function here too as well. Action any. Oh, sorry, any. So and here I'm going to use if statement. So that will be action dot type. If our action dot type is equal to increment, so if this one is equal to increment, it should return. Okay, what is it going to return now? It should return, let's firstly press state. So it should return and change our count to be state dot count plus 1. So we want to increase it in that scenario there. So let's do for the, so let me just copy this and edit. Let's do for the decrement. So I will just say exif. Say if our this will be here, decrement. So and we're going to return this as well too, but in this scenario, since it's for decrement, it has to be minus. So and finally x. So we have to put our states here. So I'll go to my app.txt. So and call this one out. We have to import use dispatch from React Redux as well. So dispatch, use dispatch. So like this. So we are going to call the dispatch inside this function here now. So and we are going to call the action we want to perform here. So it should perform action increment here. And here we are going to call it here to dispatch, and we are going to perform action decrement here and import this. So let's go and check our UI if we are doing the right thing. So this for the increment, and this is the decrement is not working. Okay, let's go and check the reason why. So I'll go to my reducer. Okay, count, state.count -1. So we have increments here. Okay, let me check our decrement const dispatch. Or could be the issue if action.type is equal to decrement return counter state. Okay, let's try to refresh and see. Okay, it is working perfectly. I think I have to refresh before. So it is working now. Thank you for watching this video. So I'll also be dropping some tutorial video on Substance, Jotile, React, Redux Toolkit, Redux Saga, and Redux Talk. Thank you and God bless you.